Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have a few questions for you today. First question: do you look forward? Do you love getting old? Or perhaps getting sick? Or perhaps getting some really strong, harsh feedback? The kind of criticisms that make you feel tinier than tiny. Are you looking forward to that? Or perhaps instead of looking forward, you actually worry, you actually concerned about that. You are even a little bit afraid of it. Many people are fearful, fearful or afraid of getting old. I definitely used to be afraid of getting old, and some people are very concerned, very fearful about getting sick, and some are very concerned about receiving harsh criticism, and it is one of those that if you are concerned about it, what have you done to such that you reduce the rate of this impacting your life. See, this week was sharing about how fear, as unpleasant as it is, as paralyzing as it is, fear can be beneficial for you as well. Yesterday, I shared about my experience with the cat litter box, and that it is also actually an opportunity when you have a reaction, whatever your reactions, you might react on something a little bit more reasonable than an automatic cat litter box. But when you have a reaction and you learn to pay attention and to recognize what you react to, then you actually, it's an opportunity for you. It is actually, your fear, your reaction help you learn and be understand yourself a little more, that you know what triggers you, and the same wavelength, so to say, in the same manner, your fear, if you have concern, if you have fear about something like getting old or getting sick or receiving harsh criticism or something, it's something that for some people, it's definitely something that can be paralyzing. We're worried about getting sick or something, and therefore we will not get out of our bedroom. Some people do that. And then it's also possible where you might be worrying about getting old, and then you worry about that, which by the way only ages you faster if you worry. And at the same time it is one of those things that when you have anything that you are concerned about, that you fearful about, it's actually a lot of time is an opportunity for you. If you, for instance, worry about becoming ill, then you might actually do certain things that allow yourself to be healthier. And if you have concern, if you worry about getting old, well, what are some of the things that you might allow yourself to be paralyzed by your fear? You might allow yourself to be aged by your fear, by worrying about it, or you can choose to have your fear as an opportunity, and actually say, okay, I don't like the concept of getting old, so what is it that I might be able to do that will allow me to minimize the impact of aging on me? And perhaps it's exercising well, perhaps it's eating well, perhaps it's keeping your mind sharp, and perhaps it's other things as well. But and the same thing, if you have fear of, let's say, harsh criticism, being criticized by other, it definitely something that for many people can be paralyzing. They said, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then they didn't do it because of what have you. But at the same time, what if it is something that you choose to use to say, if you are worrying about your presentations being criticized, well, how about if you actually prepare extra well for your presentations, therefore diminishing your fear and the impact of your fear in your life and your career. So it's fear is one of those things that's very interesting, isn't it? It's a matter how we perceive that. Yesterday I share about how I perceive this particular time a few days ago. My cat litter box noise as being super scary. It's a perceptions, and well, some other times like it doesn't bother me at all. Cat's litter box doing its job. It's a good sign. It's actually a good sign when I hear the cat litter box in most of the time, that because that means it's doing its job. It's an automated cat box. And for some reason, but sometimes our mind just can go south and pick something then and perceive it as being scary. So if you have any concern, where you have concern, you have fear about getting old, fear about receiving criticism, perhaps you have fear of becoming ill, then how are you going to use that fear? How are you going to perceive that? Are you going to perceive that fear as a hindrance? Are you going to let the fear become your hindrance, or are you going to perceive it as as an opportunity to ask yourself, what can you do in this particular case that would allow you to actually be able to have to be able to be in such a way that you minimize the impact of this fear, on your life and in your well-being, in your thriving, instead of having it paralyzing you and hindering you. And please share in the comment below if you have certain fear that perhaps used to be something that was a burden, that was a hindrance, and then it's actually become something that an opportunity for you to grow and become much better. With me the one those some of those fears are the fear of actually getting old in particular, and to a degree fear of getting sick, but it's more of fear of getting old, particularly living here in Los Angeles area, where there are nearby Hollywood and all this thing, and you got to be looking this way and doing that way and doing these procedures and that procedure. Holy moly! I used to do some of those, and then at some point I realized that, you know what, this is just not for me, and I focus on what I would love, which is vibrant health, natural beauty. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but for me it's vibrant health and natural beauty. And it was an opportunity for me to do what is it that I was able to do and still are doing, to be able to stay healthy. So regardless of my chronological age, I stay healthy and I stay vibrant and naturally the way that I perceive best for me. And what an opportunity it was. So what is it that you might have concern, you might have fear, you might have worry about, and what do you decide to do? Are you going to allow it to be a hindrance? Would you perceive it as an obstacle? Or would you actually perceive it and use it as an opportunity for you to grow and be an even better, more empowered you? Please share in the comment below what's your experience with that. If there is something, some form of fear that you perhaps are facing and you would love some support, feel welcome to reach out to me directly. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and feel welcome to share this with anyone that you love to. And this is Bridget with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief. I see that as you embrace your fear, instead of trying to run from it or hide from it or hating it, that you actually gain this benefit. The benefit we shared yesterday of knowing yourself and understanding yourself. a benefit of using what's your obstacles into an opportunity, because in every fear is an opportunity. In every fear is an opportunity. And so, what opportunity do you embrace? And I see that as you embrace this, you create an even more beautiful, wonderful, joyful, thriving life, and you create a magnificent, thriving life as a whole. And I love you very much, and I look forward to see you again very